launch your idea way before you're ready. So you want to just either launch a product or service, the business idea you're thinking about, long before you're actually ready. Because when you launch, you will learn along the way. Okay? Not every idea works straight away. Most business ideas, in fact, fail. You can have to get used to failing. So if you can launch quicker, you can learn faster. Alright? But now, how do you actually go about launching and launching quickly? Well, either you're going to sell a product or service. Now, if you're going to sell a product, or you've got an idea for a business that sells products, you want to start with one. If you're going to sell a service, keep it really niche. Understand your idea. So, let's start with an idea for a product. So let's say pet bowls. Now you're super passionate about pets, animals. It's a good business, profitable niche as well. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is set aside a budget of only maybe £150. Okay? Now, all you need to do is not even source the product. You don't even need to find a supplier straight away. You just want to make a landing page. So one landing page, nothing else, no main menu, no FAQs, just one simple landing page. And then you want to run ads at roughly £20 a day to that page. So ads to page. And all you want to do is optimize your ads to tell you whether someone wanted to buy it. Now clearly state the price. The price was $19.99, and you're not going to ship anything or accept payment, but what you're going to do is understand if these ads and if this landing page is actually getting people to buy. And then for about £100, which you would spend over the course of maybe 6 days, at £15 a day ad spend, which should be manageable, you should be able to see what your cost per purchase is. Then you can potentially look at how much a pet bowl would be, and you can see how profitable you'd be. And right there, you've launched a business that you know is going to work or not for around £100. Now let's say you're selling a service. What would I do? Let's choose a service. So let's say you want to, now remember, keep it niche. Let's say you want to help women improve their fashion sense. Okay? You want to go into a sort of, kind of wardrobe building niche, helping women improve their fashion sense. That's a good niche. You can be that person, particularly if you're into your fashion. Okay, so again, you want to test around £100, £150 worth of ads. Okay, and all you want to do is run your ads to a landing page that either is a registration of interest to see if people would even be interested in that service, or you want to run ads to a Zoom call with a Calendly link, so it can be booked at a time that you actually that works for you. Okay, and you want to speak to these people, and you want to find out, one, if the service is even something they'd be interested in, and two, you want to find out how much you can charge for the service. Because as you talk to them, if they're interested, and then they ask you, okay, now I want to do this with you, you can then say, okay, that's £500, that's £1,000. And you can see actually then if you've got a business that works. What you can also then do is you can discover only for £100 if this service is even worth you pursuing. Do you understand? Do you see how simple this needs to be? Again, you want to run this to a very simple landing page, either with a book a call option or a register of interest option. Okay? And that's all you want to do, and you'll be able to see if you can launch that business. Now, business gets overcomplicated a lot. People lose a lot of money and they struggle to know where to start. But you've got to get used to the idea of failure. Because my first, 20, 30 businesses failed. But I lost a lot of money because I never understood that you could test so simply. And that you could verify a product so simply and for so little money. I used to throw money at things. If I'd known this in the past, where you could only test maybe 100, 150 quid to even see if people would be interested, you really simplify it without all the headache. You can really start to go through a few ideas, find something that could work, and then you pursue. Now the thing is, when you pursue, it will never be perfect off the bat. A lot of business is about learning, it's about personal growth. So potentially, as you're scaling this pet bowl business, you might find that certain colours sell better than others. You might find that personalisation is a better option for the business. You might find the pricing point works better higher or lower. But you'll never know all these lessons until you launch that initial test. You won't even know if it's worth selling. And then you can go down the route of finding suppliers and shipping out the product and yada yada yada. So for that pet bowl idea, this applies for any product idea. When they click purchase, don't accept the payment, don't do anything like that, just have a window pop up that says thank you for your interest, we'll be in stock shortly, and collects their email. Because then when you do launch, you can send an email out to everyone who's interested, telling them it's now live, go buy. Same with the fashion idea or service. That goes for any service, helping men quit porn, helping people above 60 get into good shape. If you're going to sell a service, again, registration of interest, so you can see how many people are interested, if it's even worth pursuing. Or you can do the call thing, see if people are willing to pay you for that coaching service. And then afterwards, you can go and say, okay, I'm doing this now, this is live, send an email out to everyone. Or if the call goes well and you're ready, you can just accept payment off the bat. You might find your first £100, if you're going to sell a service to someone, equals £500 to £1,000 in that first week. But you want to keep it so simple in the initial stages, where it's simply ads for about 15, maybe even £10 a day, landing page to the product or service, and then on the checkout window for a product, as they go, or the service even, as they go to buy, don't accept payment because you're only testing. Okay? And if no one enters that registration window, you can just pause the ads, close everything, simple as, move on to the next one without having to then deal with the headache of you've now got a product to ship, or you've now got a supplier to source, or all of that. Keep it as simple as humanly possible. Okay, I'm going to end this with simple. And launch today. Okay? Because your biggest enemy will be waiting and procrastination. And like I said, get used to failing. It's going to take a few before you start to really build that momentum. I'm still pursuing my first 10k a month business. Okay, I'm not a multi-millionaire, but I know what's worked for me to be able to make a few grand. And all you need to do to be able to do this full time is make a few grand and get away from your 9 to 5. Okay? And as I pursue and grow towards 10k, I will continue giving as many lessons as I can on this. Now, I'm going to end this one here, but I am contemplating launching a kind of life and business and self-improvement coaching community. If you'd be interested in that, just comment the words life. Just comment the word life, just so I can gauge interest. You see, I'm doing it now. Engage interest. There may well be a sign-up form in the description so I can get your email as well. If it's not there, it will be there soon. So give this a go. I want you to launch ads, £15 a day. Whatever product or service it is that you're thinking about, launch it. Okay, because I know you've got an idea. That's all for today, but I'll see you next time.